Yeah. The life. I said it's the life. Yeah. Hey, yo, I see y'all out there living y'all life, man. Live it up. I went from sleeping on the bunk inside a cage to home ownership. While people was afraid of that life, I was condoning it. And hoped that I was raised for the mice known to roam. If you got it out the mud, I slept there. I was homeless, living was only torture, and I could have done without it. But God...
We're back on the Bro Code Show. I am here with Kerwin. Now, you were invited to be a part of this show today based off of your history with Robert. Tell us a little bit about how you know this gentleman.
Robert Mitchener. That's a great friend of mine. You all call him Robert. I'm going to break it down and call him Bucci.
Bucci?
Bucci.
Where did this come from?
Bucci is a nickname. Bucci, we go all the way back to riding dirt bikes together. Go all the way back eating at the same table together, jumping the creek together. That's Bucci. Very good guy, though, a humble guy. A real good, positive brother. Used to eat from the table together, played all sorts of little league sports together.
As I understand it, you trained him.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. How did that go? How long did it take him to get it?
Robert's straight. He's a sharp guy. He's a sharp guy. I just believe in taking time with everybody, you know. Each one teach one. I believe where I go, he goes. That's the way I've always felt about it. Nothing too hard. Real good guy. Heart is right. And he's a servant also. You can only serve if you're a servant first. Yes, sir. So it was a pleasure, actually. You know, we come from where it was so easy to make a change, or we could have went either direction. But many are called, few are chosen. I know we're chosen to do this job, to help the people and to serve the people of our community.
Well, I'd be remiss if I didn't speak on the outfit. I feel very underdressed when you coming in here with the three-piece suit.
I'm a man of God, just coming in today. I got a phone call, and this is my brother. And anytime my brother reach out to him, I'm gonna come and assist, do whatever I can, because it's straight from the heart, and that's what I love. Okay. So I am a man of God. I'm in the ministry, and I do believe, again, each one teach one. As I go up, he goes up. Only thing we can do is reach back and help and encourage.
I love it.
Yes, sir.
Well, we appreciate you being here.
Yes, sir.
And we'll be right back on the Bro Code Show.
What's up, good people? It's your boy, Bro Troy. We're back at it again for another episode of the Bro Code Show. As you can see, we're at a different location. We got the man with the plan here. Real quick, man, we know who you are, but for the people who are listening, 90 seconds or less, tell the people who you are and put some respect on your name.
I'm Robert Mitchener, born and raised here in Raleigh, North Carolina, retired law enforcement officer.
My man, Robert Mitchener. Tell the people where we're at. Like, we're not just anywhere, but where are we sitting at right now? Let the people know.
We're actually in my home, the living room part, and the kitchen part of my home.
That's it, man. We are right here, man, in your own home. Well, first and foremost, thank you for inviting the Bro Code. Everybody can't see what's going on here in the background, but we have a whole production in your home, man. So first and foremost, we want to say thank you for inviting us to your home, man, where you feel comfortable in the most. So our goal today is, man, to celebrate you, to tell us a little bit about your life story, a little bit about how you grew up. So let's talk about that. So first and foremost, where's home?
Right here in Raleigh. I grew up in the south side of Raleigh.
Yeah.
Right off Rock Garden Road, Southgate.
Yeah.
And born and raised there. It was rough times there, but we had fun.
Well, talk to about those rough times. Talk to about those early childhood memories. Like, we've talked on the Lavelle Moten, that's Mr. Lane Street. We talked about how the Raleigh Boys Club has shaped his life. So talk to me about that. What is it that shaped your life as a child?
Well, most of all, I did grow up with a mother and father
Yeah.
in my house, but my father worked extremely a lot. He was not there when I needed someone to play basketball with, football, or anything. He was always working day and night.
Yeah.
That is how I learned my heart, where to work hard from. But it was always in my subdivision where we grew up at. You could always go to the Parks and Rec and down in the community and play basketball, football, baseball, everything. Everybody met right there.
Yeah.
And I grew up playing a lot of basketball, football, baseball, and everything. And I met a lot of friends along the way. And some of those friends are still here. Some of them got locked up. Some of them got killed along the way. And some of them are part of my youth program.
Yeah.
And things of that nature. So that's basically what I grew up at.
I love it, man. You talked about sports, and for a lot of children, sports is the spark. It's the thing that keeps them away from potential gang activity.
Right.
But outside of the sports, there would be no sports without coaches, without people that were there to be for the baby. So talk to me about that. What were some of those coaches? What were some of those earlier mentors that really helped you get to where you are now?
When I was growing up, we used to have coaches that would come in the community and coach Little League.
Yeah.
They'd take their time off and coach Little League, Junior League, or whatever, like a father would. They'll also be the ones that pick you up and take you to the games.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think that as we grow older, we don't give them, they are the ones that we should be awarding, but nobody really talk about those Little League coaches or Junior League coaches, because they are the ones that's actually really molding that person, molding that kid to be a productive citizen.
Yeah.
Without sports is a great thing because you meet a lot of friends, a lot of people that can take you and help you and get to the next level.
Yeah, I love it. So I bring that up because, and we'll talk about it a little bit later, but I just want to just hit on it just for a moment. You now serve some of those same youth. And we'll talk about that in a moment, but I'm curious, was there anything in your childhood that really shifted your purpose and passion and drives you even harder now? Like, is there any connection between things that have happened in your early childhood, whether that be traumatic, good, positive, bad, or ugly, that really push you in the trajectory of what you're doing now with kids?
Well, looking at my father and seeing how he worked so hard, and we always had a roof over our head. We never wanted, we had everything that we possibly had. We didn't have the best, but we had what we needed. And just getting that effort from him and seeing the hard work also helped me develop the hard work skills. And he always would tell me that he could, that you can have and be who you want to be in life as long as you work hard. As I got older and I was working, I transitioned into actually working, and I met my another mentor. Yeah. And that mentor happened to be an NFL Hall of Famer, Lynn Barney, which when I met him, I was around about 16, 17 in that range. And when I met him, I was working at the church in Imperial, and I was a houseman. And I set up for banquets and things of that, meetings and things. I was lifting a table, and he called me Coach. He said, "Coach, if you do not lift that table the right way, then you're gonna hurt yourself." So he put his bags down and he helped me lift the table. And he asked me when I get a chance to come up to his room, and he wanted to talk to me a little further. I looked at one of my friends and I said, "Man, I don't know. I have just met this man. I don't know about going up there." But I went. You never know when God is giving you an opportunity. And I went to his room and he began to talk to me further. But by going to his room, it opened up a friendship where I hung out with him that weekend. That was on a Saturday. That Sunday he left and went back to Detroit. I gave him my phone number, but he never gave me his. And he called me. He called me on that Monday. He said, "Hey, Coach, I forgot to give you my number." And I got his number, and I told him I wanted to come see him. So when I went to see him, it just opened up. He changed my life. Every commercial he did, every autograph signing he did, everything that he did, I was always there just seeing what he was doing. All the celebrities that he knew became my friends. Yeah. And I can remember one day I'm sitting at his house, my first time ever eating turkey spaghetti, and we get a ring at the doorbell, and all of the Four Tops came in, and it just opened my eyes, and I just knew at that point that I had to drive, and I knew I could be anything. And he always would tell me, "You can be anything that you want to be."
I love it. And we always talk about it only takes one person to change the trajectory of your life. We always talk with the work that we do in Y4C and the youth that we serve, that you never know, right? Blessings come from people, favor comes from God. Right? So always being open and being a forever learner. I thank you for sharing. We do want to talk more and look forward to the next. Right here on the Bro Code Show. We'll be right back.
Man, I got it right. My head matching my bag. You know I'm poppin' tags. 'Cause man, I got it swag. Man, I got it swag. My head matching my bag. You know I'm poppin' tags. 'Cause man, I got it swag. When I serve, now watch me something swag. I'm on here exotic. Polo on my body, got a bag of Versace and a friend right behind me, and I'm swag. I'm surfing, I'm swag, I'm surfing, I'm swag, I'm surfing. I'm cool like this detergent on Patron. Yeah, I'm wrong, purple by the zone. Yeah, I'm smoking strong, and you know I'm on 'cause I'm swag. I'm surfing, I'm swag, I'm surfing, I'm swag, I'm surfing. I'm cool like this. I'm tall off in the club with a pocket full of bang. Kids stupid fresh like I'm wrapped up in saran. Swag super cool, blowing strong like a fan. Make my chain shining hard, it just gave my neck a tan. Pockets on Popeye, 'cause that's roll like that spinach. Street swag, you can call me Mr. Lennox. Bottles in my hand, putting on just like casual. Surfing on the stage like the Lord Kelly sliders. I swag when I serve, I swag when I serve, I swag when I serve. Now watch me swag, I swag when I serve, I swag when I.
So we're back on the Bro Code Show, and we're filming at Robert's house. But it's really important to know who people hang around, and we have a couple of Robert's closest friends. How we doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Awesome. Tell us who we talking to.
I'm Richard, and this is my wife, Crystal, and we met Robert in 2017. We had a mutual friend. Crystal and I had a TV show that was local here called Coffee and Cream, and we've done some interviews and stuff. And this guy said, "I want you to do a feature on Robert." And so he can't get rid of us now. We just follow, we document his events, and we just see all the stuff that he's done for community. It's crazy good.
Yeah, that's awesome. So tell me about the chance meeting. You're meeting with Robert. You meet him. What was one thing that stood out to you about Robert that would make you have a 6-year relationship with him?
His passion for the children. That just stood out. He has an amazing heart, very generous. Yeah. Very generous.
Yeah, very genuine. It's real.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. How important is it, as we build in our business and everything that we do, we work in the community too.
Yeah.
How important is it the people you surround yourself with?
The people that you surround yourself is a good temperature gauge of where you are in life. So if you've got people that are negative and always down on stuff, that's where you're constantly going to be. So you need to be matched to that vibrational match. So if they're go-getters, they believe in what they're doing, you're gonna almost be challenged to be the same way, if not even better, like a little competition there.
I love it.
Yeah.
And what do you think? How important is it?
It's very important that those that you hang around with determines where you're going in life. If you're the strongest person in the circle, you need to go to another circle.
I love it.
You need to have another area where you can kind of grow in and also lead other people into as well. But like Richard was saying, there's people that have a bad energy, or they just sometimes they don't mean it, but sometimes it's just not there.
Yeah.
And you need to have that around you. The energy, even the crew that's behind the camera today, it's y'all just came on in, and you could just feel the energy.
Yeah.
Just like that, you just come in and you just change the atmosphere, and we're supposed to be atmosphere shifters.
Yeah.
And that's what we do.
So I love that. What we call it is we move in a spirit of excellence. And to be around us, you don't have to be just like us, but you have to move in a spirit of excellence, because one person off changes the whole vibe.
Absolutely.
One thing that I want to ask about Robert is Robert seems like he could be a tough guy. He seems like, kind of has that exterior, but when you talk to him, I get a real soft feel from Robert.
Oh yes, he's
What do you
He's
feel?
a cream puff.
There it is. There it is.
He's very soft inside.
There it is.
He is.
Is it
A gentle giant.
And where I want to go with that, because we're really pushing into mental health and wellness and things like that, and a lot of men don't show that side, right?
Yeah.
And so we want to talk more about that side. Is it okay for men to be that way? Now, I guess I would lean to you, Crystal. Is it okay for men to show that soft? Do women like that softer side, the nurturing side of men?
Yes, and it depends too, because women love to see that part, but sometimes men cannot show that sometimes.
Yeah.
Now, to certain women, yes, she'll take care of that. But if a man is with an alpha woman, she might drag him around and do some things like that. When she see that vulnerable side of him. Especially she knows him and she can really pull some strings and things like that. So yes, most women love to have that side of love to see that side of men. We want to see that tenderness. We want to see all of that stuff. And at the same time, they're not our girlfriends. We can't. My husband says that too. Look, I'm not your girlfriend. I'm your man, and I love you too. So it's just really good to have that. So.
I'm not. So that's a comment from you. I'm not your girlfriend. I love that.
Yeah.
So do you feel like it's important for men to show that emotional side?
Absolutely.
Okay. Did you grow up that way? Because I didn't.
Well, yeah, I was.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, so I was kind of privy to that, and I was always free to kind of express myself and show vulnerability. But also you learn through life that you got to pick and choose who you show that vulnerability to.
Time and place.
Yes.
Time and place.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you've heard it on the Bro Code Show. We appreciate you guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys.
Boy, Bro Smith, we are back with Rob Mitchener in his wonderful home here in Wake Forest. And you were touching a little bit about your early childhood. I want to get into your career in law enforcement. As I understand, you've had 30 years and counting involved in some form or fashion, either leading, training, developing officers. Why did you even get into law enforcement in the beginning?
Wow, man, I'm so happy you asked that. Like I said, my mentor, he played for the Detroit Lions. He was a ex-Hall of Famer. He called me one day as I got closer to the age of 21. He asked me, he said, Coach, where are you at? He said, I'm at the airport, come pick me up. So I went to the airport and picked him up. He said, if you know where John H. Baker lives at, that's the sheriff of Wake County at that time, take me by there. Never knew that I was taking him to the John H. Baker house for myself. I told him I knew him. I told him that I knew where he stayed, but I did not know him. So I picked him up and we went to Sheriff Baker's house. He beat on the door and John Baker, we walked into the house and he immediately put his arms around me, my friend Lynn Barney, and he told John Baker that this is my friend and I need you to take care of him. Take care of him. And he slammed his hand on the kitchen table. He said, I got him. He said, what's next? They laughed, they giggled. We left. I took him back to the airport, flew back to Detroit. Well, make a long story short, about 2 days later, John H. Baker called me. He said, I have a package for you here. Come down here to the sheriff's department and pick it up. I want you to fill this package out and turn it in to me and only me. And so I filled that package out and I turned it in to him. And about maybe a month later, they called me in for that interview. And I don't think he asked me 2 questions. And when I walked in his office, and he said that I'm hired. He said, but you have to get your own self through the academy. So, but once you get through the Sheriff's Academy, welcome to the Sheriff's Department. So once I graduated from a Sheriff's Academy, that's when my career really started in law enforcement, because I was immediately, I worked at an information desk right at first, as soon as you walk into the Sheriff's Department. Then they sent me to work into the courthouse as a bailiff. But it was some strange reason that they would always put me in juvenile court. And I would be the bailiff in that courtroom. But that was, sometimes we don't listen to God. And God was talking to me the whole time. So what God was setting it up was that I was able to hear the young kids' cries and moans. Some of the kids that was in trouble. And I was learning the different judges and the lawyers and everybody. I became friends, good friends with. And some of those judges and lawyers and became part of my organization that I have now to this day.
So, from being a deputy sheriff and then retiring, what brought you back? Because you were done with it. Why'd you come back?
Well, I love serving and protecting. I love serving and protecting. I love the community. I love being around people. More contrary to what everything is going on now, kids really look up to law enforcement. And there are good law enforcement officers out there, and I'm one of them.
We started our show in 2020 in the heat of everything. George Floyd protest. And we began a series just talking about the talk. We interviewed police chiefs from a number of different counties. We had law enforcement, black, white. And one of the main things that came out of that was feeling as if you had to toe the line, so to speak, between being a black man and having a bad one. The line between black and blue, so to speak. How have you navigated in that landscape for so long, so successful?
Well, I treat people like I would want to be treated. I don't disrespect no one until you disrespect me, and then it goes to a different level. But I treat people, and mainly kids, you have to, sometimes it's just like, you have to break it down in layman's terms, show them things that they are not aware of that could be trouble. I always say this to young kids: show me your friends and I can tell you your future.
Tell me more. What do you mean by that?
Well, you know, it's just like an energizer battery. If you got an AM/FM radio and you go, it runs out of batteries. You go to the store and you get the batteries for the energy. Once you get the batteries, place it into the radio, that charges that battery, that radio up. So when that battery is no longer good, you get rid of it. You don't want the wrong energy. You want that good energy. That battery that you just bought and purchased is actually the good energy. The same thing with friendship. You just want that good energy that charges you up, that charges you, that gives you that energy to go higher, you know, in life.
I love it. I love it. Being on the force for so long, you know, what is something that you can say has made you proud in regards to the Raleigh Police Force? Is there a person or a moment that you can look back and say, this was a big moment, defining moment in my life?
Well, what made me proud actually is that what I'm happy that I was able to touch and develop. I think that, and you know, I'm a real spiritual man, and I think that in God's time, everybody's footsteps are already ordered. And I think what that law enforcement was, I was placed into law enforcement to mold me into now with this organization I have to help others, to help the young kids, because I think in a part of in life that we go up the ladder, but we don't reach back down. So I have came a lot, have been successful in what I've done, and that's because of hard work, believing, and the friends that I encounter, you know, and that helped me go to that next level. I'm just so proud of actually, you know, being alive, first of all, you know, to see 30 years.
Absolutely.
30 years and 7 months. And actually, law enforcement in general, you know, because I don't have to be here to tell the story. I could have been somewhere else. Something else could have happened to me. But I'm just thankful for being here to be able to tell my story.
And I thank you for your service. You're certainly an example of what a police officer and a sheriff and someone who's been devoted to that craft should look like.
Quite well. Thank you. I'm honored.
Appreciate it.
Hey, listen, got ice in the veins when you made so frigid. Still in the kill brain cells when you hit it. Or the pills when you pop that. Don't stop. Get it started. We the fighters.
That works. So it's your boy Bro Smith. We are here at the Raleigh Convention Center at the Inspired event. I've heard you are the head lady in charge. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So my name is Crystal. Well, my name is Crystal. I go by Crystal the Muse. We've been doing Inspired. I've been with SP doing Inspired since conception. It's been a ride. It's been a ride, but I host, I produce, I consult, you know, so Renaissance woman, so to speak.
How long does it take to actually get all of this together? Like, do you start months in advance, years in advance?
So yes, all of the above. Depending on how intricate the show is going to be, it might take 6 months or more to plan it out completely. And so this show in particular, believe it or not, it's been in the making for the last 2 years. Well, since about November 2021, since our last show. So we've been building this show up since then. It has changed and evolved over time getting here, but ultimately we're here. We're here.
What are you motivated?
Coming up in here, you know what's coming.
Speak of the devil. You looking dapper too.
So we're back on the Broco Show. Robert, man, it's good to sit down and talk to you. Really excited about hearing more about your organization. What is it called?
Our Youth Matters, where every kid deserves a chance.
So you created this. When did you create it? What year?
2012.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about how that came to be. Like, tell us more about like what made you want to start something and do that for kids.
Well, it comes from actually what was done for me. I'm a big person that if you help me out, I never forget.
Yeah.
So as a kid, my mentor, Lem Barney, helped me. John H. Baker helped me. And it molded me. So I wanted to give back what they possessed, put inside of me. I wanted to give back to the young kids to help them come up.
I love that. So when we talk about objectives for your organization, what are some things that you're trying to do for these youth? Some objectives.
Well, first of all, I want the youth to never to give up. Know that it's not going to be an easy walk, but you'll get there as long as you stick to it. Also, being in law enforcement, I want them to show them that there are still good law enforcement officers that care and respect the community and respect others. And I'm one of them. So that's one major thing. And just letting them know that you do have people here that love and care.
Yeah, that's very important. We ask the kids all the time we work with, do you know that we care? Because we want them to know at least one person, because we never know. You know, we ask the question all the time, and a lot of them can't name 3 people that they feel supported by. And to me, that's scary. So we really work on that.
Right.
I would love to hear more about, I'm holding your book.
Right.
You're an author.
Yes, sir.
And and I've been reading this. This is a nice book. It's substantial. What went into you becoming an author? I mean, did you know authors growing up? Did you know any authors growing up?
Well, I didn't, but I would say this. I never knew that I'm the type of person that would take notes, things like a journal every day, things that took place, and I would put it in my phone. And my sister noticed that I wrote in my phone and took notes. And she would tell me all the time that you're writing a book, you need to put it together. So I didn't believe her at the time, and I just one day just sat down and started putting things together. And that's when the book came about.
You mentioned law enforcement. As a black man, there's a lot of contention around law enforcement in the community. And you're mentioning that there are a lot of people inside of law enforcement that are good people. But how do you communicate that? How do you communicate that to youth that don't hear that at home, don't hear that in the community, and don't believe it?
Well, your action speaks louder than words.
Yeah.
So you have to involve yourself in the community around the kids. Show them that you do care. Spend some time with them as if you would spend with your own kids. I think that what we do, we get a place in life that long as our kids are doing well at the household, we forget about the kids down the street that does not have the parents. So I think that we, long as we give back and show that we care and we love and we're willing to give our extra time and spend time with the young kids.
Yeah, growing up, I had a friend who did have some great things in place when it came to family and father and mom in the same house. And I had an opportunity to go over there. And it was really, I didn't spend a lot of time with his dad, but just being in the home with them made the world of difference.
Right.
Seeing some normalcy in the house. So when you speak about the kids, like the ones that are down in the neighborhood that haven't made it, we haven't made it until we all made it.
That's it.
That's my thought on that. And so if there's a child that's out there that needs help, we need to be a part of that.
That's right.
I love that. Let's talk a little bit more about law enforcement. I want to hear, because you get passionate when you talk about law enforcement. I hear your voice change a lot.
Right.
I know you said you're retired, but
I'm retired.
Do you ever really retire?
I don't believe in retirement. I believe in, I believe once you retire, it's time to move to another level then.
Yeah.
But I don't believe in retirement. I don't ever retire.
Yeah. Well, we were talking before show, and you've done well for yourself, would you say? Coming from
Absolutely.
And you spoke to, like, a lot of people don't make it to this level. They just don't. They quit. All the reasons happen, but you made it. And you mentioned earlier that you would talk to yourself. You would speak things out to yourself. Let's talk about that. What did you mean by that?
This is, sometimes you might call me crazy or whatever, but I repeat over and over some things. I'll stand in my kitchen early in the morning and I say, look how much money I have. And I tell myself that over and over. Or when I decided to get a big home, I used to ride in the neighborhoods and say, oh, I'm a living at home. And I claim it. So I speak things into existence. I'm a big believer in that because when I had no money, I took no money into some money. But you always got to do the right thing with the money, or you won't keep it long. So a lot of times I place it inside my youth program to move it, to do more things in the community for the kids.
Yeah, I love when you talk about the crazy. I think people think we are crazy sometimes. I do talk to myself too. And sometimes so much people like who you're talking to.
Right.
And I'm talking to my future.
That's it.
Right? I don't want to have to show up in my future and figure it out.
I've
already seen it and hear it. And I say it out loud and it just comes.
Absolutely.
But again, like you said, you got to do the right thing.
Absolutely. And I'm big on the energy that you keep around you.
You mentioned that earlier too, man. It's so important, isn't it? Do you feel, speaking of that, do you feel the energy when I walk in rooms, Robert? I know.
Right.
This is not the right room for me.
Right.
And I gotta go.
Right.
And you said, you're the second person in a short period of time for us that said, I spend a lot of time alone.
Right.
I like to be by myself, so
I
don't get talked out of how I feel.
Right.
And both of y'all are doing very well.
Right.
So there must be something to that.
Absolutely. You have to realize the people that you're around, if the energy is like that Energizer battery that's on that shelf, if it can charge that energy that they bring to you, if it can charge you up and move you. See, my mentor, he had that energy that he gave to me to push me, and that is why I'm here today.
Because if the energy doesn't lift you up, it drains you.
Right.
It's not, there's no middle ground.
Right. That's right.
It drains you.
It drains you. So then that's a bad battery.
Yeah.
You have to get rid of it.
That's great.
That's just like friends.
Hey, where we sitting, man? Like, tell me for the last question.
Where
we sitting?
We actually sitting at my patio. My patio, my deck.
So they say black people still having first. So this is the first time we've shot on a deck. So you know what I mean? I'm excited about it, man.
It's the first time I ever sat back here on my deck like this, but
it's a cool night, man.
It's a cool, real nice night. Yeah.
So you've heard it here on the Bro Code Show. We'll be right back with you.
No one's ready to deal with us. What?
The life. I said it's the life. Yeah. Hey, yo, I see y'all out there living y'all life, man.
What's up, good people? We're back on the Bro Code Show. We are right here at the mansion of Robert Mitchener. Rob, man, first and foremost, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Oh, hold on. Bucci, right? We were told that we're taking it back to childhood nicknames on this piece, man. That's how we do on the Bro Code Show.
That's right.
Anyway, thank you for bringing us into your home, man. You have a beautiful home. We've done several segments. We've been in the piano room. Mm-hmm. We've been in the living room. We've been out on the patio. We've did a scene walk in, and now we're here in the pool room. You know, and here we are all together, man. As we wrap this thing up, we are really, really big on this thing called wellness is the new cool. And as black men, we alluded to it while we were on the patio, but oftentimes we internalize things, man. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, we have the propensity, we have the ability to keep things in, and oftentimes it erupts like a volcano.
Right.
Wrong situation, wrong people, wrong place. Right. So here we are in the pool room, man. And some would say we use this as a way to cool off.
Yeah.
Yesterday we did about 600 rounds, man, multiple calibers, right? But we use that as a way to exhaust, to get it off productively. So as we wrap this thing up, man, we're in the pool room. I would love to hear your thoughts on that, man. We're very big on vulnerability and trust, man. We love each other. This thing that we say, a bro code, is not just the name of the show. That's what we live. It's a lifestyle.
Right.
Yo, we just talked to two of your childhood friends. Y'all grew up together.
Absolutely.
So tell me, what are your thoughts? Like when you talk about mental wellness, especially as a black male, even if had the nerve to be in law enforcement?
Oh, yeah.
Talk to me about that, man.
First of all and foremost, I think that you need to start with yourself first. Once you decide and to find out within yourself your likes and dislikes and your wellness within yourself. And as you go on with life, once you go up the ladder, don't be afraid to share. Help someone else come up that ladder once you get there. And that's why I've been so successful in what I've been doing, because the further that I go up the ladder, I'm always reaching down to pull someone up. You know, some people, once they get up the ladder, they forget to reach back down.
Yeah.
But always remember this: once you up that ladder, if you don't reach back down, you won't have it long.
Yeah.
So I believe in finding yourself, your inner self spirit, and what pushes you, what motivates you, your drive, your ambition. And I always go back to this: find the energy.
Sure.
The people that you're around, make sure the energy level is there.
Yeah.
If the energy level is not there, you don't need to be around that person. That person can also bring you down, and also crush your dreams. But you don't realize it, because sometimes that person could also be your family member. And so we don't see that. Sometimes we have to deal with those type of people with a long handled spoon. Not disown them, but also let them know, hey, I love you, but I can't be that person to be around you, because your vibes will rub off on me. You know, and that stops you from moving to the next level.
I love it. My grandmother said cordial, not conversation.
Absolutely.
Right? I can say hi and bye.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well,
Well, it sounds like he was talking about. He sounds like he was talking about boundaries.
That way.
No, I was talking about boundaries earlier, and it's really important. I don't think a lot of people really realize. They didn't teach us that growing up, but boundaries when it comes to our wellness. Like boundaries are only a tool to tell people how you desire to be treated.
Indeed.
So if I can communicate that to you, you confirm, hey, look, this is how I like to be treated.
Absolutely.
And if you cross it and you keep crossing it, that means you don't really want to be around me.
Sure.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
And it's nothing about disrespect. I'm going to talk to you very respectful, and I'm going to give you the same respect. But I can't be around stuff that just doesn't uplift me. Not, and even family. I feel like family. Y'all can tell me what y'all think. I think they should be held at a higher standard. They should know. They know how you want to be treated. So I think family, it's a sticky place, but they don't get a pass, right? Because you're around them the most. So you need that to really be an area where the energy is correct.
And if they don't know, potentially they should take the most time, because they are family.
And a big thing that I always say, you want to find out your calling in life, tell someone that's close to you, like your family members or someone. If they are negative about the positive thing that you're trying to reach in life, if they're so negative about it, then that is your calling. Because your family members are supposed to be there to support you, not keep you down. But some people want to keep you down to that level that they are at, or beneath them.
I want to switch gears just a little bit. You know, we talk about hobbies and passions. Now we're obviously in front of the pool table. we were in front of the piano earlier. I understand this isn't your biggest hobby. I've been staring at this watch since we started shooting.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's a nice little, Invicta, one of a kind.
Yes, sir.
SpongeBob. You know, SpongeBob on the watch.
It's a SpongeBob.
Tell me a little bit about your collection. That's what I'm saying.
What I do is I'm big on Invictors, and I only purchase the limited editions. Because I know that they're not going to be available soon, much longer. So, and I like the colorful ones, the graffiti type ones, and that's what I do. I collect them, and I probably got 100 of them.
100 watches.
Yeah.
Wow. That's impressive.
That is impressive.
I thought I had a good collection with like my 20 watches. You taught me.
You said get your weight up.
I'm not at his level yet, but I'll be there soon.
That's great.
Is that the only thing that you collect, or is how did that become a hobby for you? Like, we're not talking about any type of watch.
I don't, man. I'm gonna tell you honestly, man. I really, my passion, my desire, and I don't really say this is a hobby, but it makes me thrive to help young kids.
Yeah.
It makes me thrive. It gives me that energy, and it pushes me to another level to know that I can take a young person and to mold them and form them into just like Play-Doh, you form them into something good and positive. It's all about taking them from one environment, putting them into another environment where they can see success. That is why I do the cooking show out of my own house, so the young kids could see the success But my hobby and my calling, I always wanted to be an NBA basketball player. So I played a lot of basketball, but that basketball career introduced me to a lot of friends that play a big part in my youth program. So so I really don't, at this point, just don't have a lot of hobbies, but it's just, I'm really focused on the young kids, trying to change somebody else's life before my life is over.
That's it. I think it's better than how I found it.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
I gotta ask, man, if you could write a thank you note to all the people that have helped you so far with Our Youth Matter, what would it say?
Oh, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate your support. The time, the energy, the passion, the drive that you put into, and believing in me that I can take a youth program and move it to another level, because the youth program was just an idea that blossomed into a beautiful flower. So that's basically what I would say. Thank you, and thank you for all your support and help and drive.
So what's next for Our Youth Matter, Robert Mitchener?
Oh man, this
production, like what's next?
Oh man, the sky's the limit. I have no boundaries. Anytime I feel like I can change another youth life, you name it. I don't care. I take ideas and suggestions. Once I do an event from the kids, I take the ideas from them. What would you like for the next event to be? And they tell me, and so I get them to write it down, and I put it all together, and then I come up with some master plan. So, and you know, wherever God takes me, you know, wherever He takes me, and whatever He have me to do, I just ask Him to use me.
Send me, Lord.
That's a good place.
You got anything else, man?
That's a good place. Actually, drop the mic on that one.
Hey, look, my grandmother always said, never come new places empty-handed. That was one of the many things that she taught me. Here on the Bro Code Show, we say to you that we want to give people their flowers while they're still here. What's up, good people? We are back here at the Bro Code Show. We are wrapping this thing up with Robert Mitchener. We're right here in the pool room at his mansion out here in Wake Forest, brother. Real big proud of you, brother. Put it out there. We put it out there. Hold on. It's Bucci, right? Yeah. Hold on. We using all the street names around here, man. But as we wrap this thing up, man, I always talk about how our grandmothers played a huge role, right? We've all been raised by men and women that hold us to a different standard. And one of the things that she would always pride herself is never coming to new places empty-handed. So we pride ourselves here on the Bro Code celebrating and giving people their flowers. For the show, we asked you what's a word that you use to motivate yourself or encourage yourself, and you actually said motivation. So we got something for you, bro.
So small token, but definitely from the heart of the Bro Code, our whole team, we got your $2 bill. On the front it says "You Matter," which is important for youth, because that's what you're making them do, making them feel like they matter. We wrote "Motivate" on the front, we got your name on the front, and on the back it says the Bro Code Show, and we all signed it for you, man. We really appreciate you, number one, letting us come into your home. That's important to us.
Indeed.
But also just your hospitality, man. Just being around you and hearing your wisdom. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Indeed, man.
So honored. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you again for inviting us to your home. But I gotta ask, like, why did you pick? You could have picked any word, but why did you pick motivation?
I like to be motivated. I like to. I like energy. I like positive energy. I like to be motivated to achieve certain goals. And you know, I always try things, and even when a person say no, to me that means yes. You just got to find another way around it. So motivation and I encouraging myself to move, because nobody is better than anyone. So I feel that we give up, and we give up too soon to reach the top. And I haven't reached the top yet. I'm on my way.
I love it. It
looks like I'm at the top, but I'm not finished yet.
Hey, we on that same road, brother. Always a pleasure, man. We always end the show the same way. And your word, it's right on point. You use the word motivated. So, rightfully so, this quote is by Lou Holtz. It says ability is what you're capable of doing. Motivation determines what you do, and attitude determines how well you do it. Wow. It's your boy, Bro Troy.
Bro Smith.
And Bro Kirk.
And we are
Bro Code.
Hey, yeah. The life. I said it's the life. Yeah. Hey, yo, I see y'all out there living y'all life, man. Live it up. I went from sleeping on the bunk inside a cage to home ownership. While people was afraid of that life, I was condoning it. It helped that I was raised with a mice known to roam. If you got it out the mud, I slept there. I was homeless, living was only torture, and I could have done without it. But God rerouted, and now my mama the proudest when performing at events. She be screaming the loudest. We done came a long way.